Hey, Deuce, is Bijan Robinson the second coming of Deuce McAllister or what? I mean,
Deuce, I knew you would throw in that.
Deuce, I don't know how he cannot work out. I mean, I don't know. You get hurt, anything can happen. But you have to think he's a stud, right?
Bobby, he don't have my speed, Bobby. I mean, don't insult me. He's a good back. He's a good back. He does a lot of good things. I was 6'2", 220, 215, and I ran 4.3, 4.2. I mean, and that's what I did. Now, as I got older, I became more downhill and, just wanted to work in the box. But, no, I do love his game. I think that he actually improved. I think he actually improved this past year. But, it would be surprising for Atlanta and even the Eagles
to take him that high.
To take him that high. I mean, just because for the Eagles, what you lost defensive line-wise and what you lost offensive line-wise, and I understand, probably 2 tackles will be gone before you pick. But just for the Eagles, I would probably have to go defensive end. And for Atlanta, I think it would be more of a luxury pick for them. Yes, you would give your young quarterback a for sure weapon. But at some point, if you're Atlanta, you've got to start hitting on some defensive guys.
Yeah,
I mean, because you brought some guys in. You brought some guys in. We know free agency. I mean, but you've taken a tight end in the top 10. You've taken a receiver in the top 10, and you've taken offensive linemen over the last couple of years. I mean, and at some point, I know that you've probably got to get some young defensive help over there. So I would be surprised if both of those teams, not so much more the Eagles, because I know they feel like that they're a lot closer, and maybe he is the playmaker that steps right in and gives them something from an offensive standpoint that they don't have. That would be a little surprising, but maybe it's a long-term play and not just this year or the next 2 years.
Deuce, what about the Patriots? That, to me, would be the soft land for Bijan, because the way Belichick plays offense today, which I don't know what type of offense he plays, to be honest with you.
Here's the problem with the Patriots. Traditionally, how many backs have they had outside of a Corey Dillon? How many backs have they used?
It's always by committee.
They've always used by committee. And so you signed Corey Dillon one year, and he's a bell cow for you, but it has always been by committee. So do you think that? I mean, it would be a great spot for him now.
Yes,
don't get me wrong.
So.
I mean, because you've got a young quarterback up there, and he, like I said, he would be his best friend. But at the same time, they've been a by committee type team, and so you can see it, but I don't know if that's the perfect fit for him.
Well, Deuce, because you look at everyone's still intrigued, even though the game has changed. When you consider top 10 or top 5 player in the draft, no matter what the position. And I look at your situation, and almost the Saints took the approach, correct me if I'm wrong, but Deuce is too much value when you're picking him, when the Saints did pick you, even though they had Ricky Williams. Right? Somebody's like, well, why are we taking Deuce? We just got Ricky Williams. But they saw that value in you, right?
Deuce, the funny story with that is, Buddy D and I, we had met with Randy Mueller days before the draft. And so we talking about what positions, and Randy's the one who brought it up. He's like, man, Mike, I'm telling you, if Deuce falls to us, and he said, I don't know that he'll fall that far. He said, there's a couple teams that could potentially pick him, but he said, I wouldn't rule that out. He said, but Ricky's too much of a flake. He won't be here more than this year, and then we got to get rid of him. And he said, so Mike, I'm telling you, he's out of here after next year.
You just said the key part of the whole equation. And Bobby, when you were talking, I said, no, that's true, but it's not 100% true, because a lot of times we don't know what's going on
behind
upstairs
the scenes
or behind the scenes, in a sense. So you talk about value, but one of the things that you always have to kind of notice is, man, look at that contract, or look how that contract balloons at that position. Or, we've missed on this player or this position the last couple of years in free agency. So you know what? We're going to be aggressive, and we're going to go get a guy we think that'll be at that position for 10 years. Yes, what Randy said was 100% true. But at the same time, do they make that move, and that being the Saints, and we're talking 20-plus years ago, of course, but do they make that move if all is well with Rick and, Rick is going to OTAs, Rick is not giving them headaches, not missing practice.
He's doing a damn interview with his helmet on, and he got a freaking shield.
But I'm just saying, but I'm just saying, do they make that move,
they don't.
That being the Saints, if that is the case? Then you're exactly right. They don't make that move. And so there's always – publicly, we're going to go at best value, and we're going to get the guy that we felt like could help us, not only short term but long term. Because I know the numbers. I mean, I'll never forget it. I only had 16 carries as a rookie, not for one game, for the year. There were 16 games in a season.
So what they had? They had
16 times.
What Deuce? What
in
they had?
Year.
What they had you running back kickoffs? Like, okay, you got to contribute special teams.
Even running back kickoffs and punts.
Okay.
They had 16 total carries in a year. Not one game in a year. So I mean, it was a luxury pick in a sense. I mean, and that's just being honest. Now, but I didn't know when they picked me that they were having some of the issues with Rick at the time. And so there's always, hey, look, this player can come in and help us, maybe not immediately this year,
long term,
but year two, year three, this guy could be the starter for us. And, particularly when you're picking first round, and it really depends on the position. Sometimes, you'll have a player to step right in and have to play immediately. But usually that vision is going to be year 2, year 3 for that player.